Empower others to excel with your host, Jacqueline Jones. Empower others to excel with your host, Jacqueline Jones. Are you ready to be transformed? I'm here to uplift, encourage, motivate, and inspire.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I believe I'm having some technical difficulties this morning, but I am here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody is doing well today. I'm just making sure I have everything set up and you all can hear me. Yes, yes. Okay, we are here. We are live. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a great day today. Okay, so now I hope we all are refreshed, renewed, ready to move on with the day. If you are not, guess what? I am here to jumpstart you. I am Jacqueline Jobs. I am your empowerment strategist. So let's get this day started right. Good morning. Good morning. Stretch, yawn, get your sip of coffee, whatever it is, tea that you need to do. We are here to motivate, empower, encourage, inspire, be your accountability partner on today. So let's shake off anything that is bothering you. Let's shake it off. Let's shake it off. Let's get in the mindset that we are going to be great to do today, that we are going to do great things. So good morning to everyone. All right, so we're going to jump into our topic for today. Our topic for today is shaking yourself loose, getting out of the rut. Shaking yourself loose and getting out of the rut. How many of you today feel like you are in a rut? How many of you today feel like you are in a rut and you need to just shake yourself loose? If that is you, say that is me. Say that is me. I am in this rut and I need to shake myself loose today. Yes, because we're going to be shaking ourselves loose. We're going to be identifying what it is that we need to do in order to shake ourselves loose and to get us out of the funk that we are in. I mean, and then everybody, every now and then, we get in the funk. We get in this little stage where we just don't understand what's going on. We feel like we're stuck. We need to get unstuck. We don't know what it is that we need to do to get unstuck. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about getting unstuck, getting out of that funk that we are in. So yet again, I'm saying good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. Okay, so let's move along. Last week, we're going to recap really quickly. Last week, we were talking about how to be an overcomer, how to be an overcomer. And we based it, the main key topic that we were talking about on how to be an overcomer is that we needed to remind ourselves that life is not easy. It's not easy. There are tests, there are trials, there are struggles that you go through. But what you have to remember is that you are not defeated. Whatever may come your way, you are not defeated. And you need to identify that you are stronger than you think you are. You are stronger than you think you are. You are capable of things that you thought you were not capable of. The impossible is possible as long as you have the right strategies in place, as long as you have the right mindset. And as long as you have that support system around you. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to break down some barriers, barriers that are in our lives. We're trying to tear down some strongholds, some things that have held us captive. That is what we are trying to do on to that. So last week we were talking about being an overcomer, meaning you are refusing to give up. You are refusing to give up. You're going to persevere. You're going to push yourself to do better, to become great. And so now today we're going to piggyback on that a little bit while we're talking about shaking ourselves loose and getting out of that rut. Because we know that it seems like sometimes when we set goals for ourselves, It seems like we're close to that finish line and we can almost see it. We can almost see it. We can see the victory that we've been working on. We can see it, but yet it's just like it's so close, but then it's so far away. Have you ever felt like that? It is just so close, but yet it is still so far away. Now, if you felt like that, I just want you to say, yes, I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. Because sometimes for us, it's like, it's crushing. It's a crushing feeling that you feel when you know that you're so close. You know that you're so close, but and you feel as though I got this, I got this. And then soon as you feel as though you got it, you don't have it. And it's just like mind-boggling to you, like what happened, what's going on? I don't know. So if you are in that situation, you are in that circumstance, and you feel as though you are that close to obtaining what it is that you're looking for, but yet you cannot grab a hold of it, you don't know what it is, why is it, what's stopping you? We're here today to figure that out. We are here today to figure it out. We're going to get you out of that rut that you are in. Okay, so now some key talking points for recognizing your rut, because in order to recognize your rut and in order to move forward, you have to be able to identify what it is. That is always the first step, acknowledging. You have to be able to acknowledge what it is. What is it that is holding you back? Sometimes we say to ourselves, no, I'm fine. I'm just tired. Like I'm tired. This is just a phase, but in reality, it's you're in a pattern, you're in the stuck pattern, you're in this rut. And now we're trying to figure out what it is. Because when you're in that rut, sometimes you stop dreaming. Sometimes you have those goals and those aspirations that you have set for yourself. And because you're in that rut or you're in that spot where you feel as though you can't move forward or you don't know how to move forward, you stop dreaming about what it is that you want. And then maybe sometimes it feels as though you're doing the same thing every day and you just feel empty. So it's like every day you get up, you do the same repeated pattern every day. You get up, you get dressed, you get ready for work, you go to work, you come home, you eat, you watch something on TV, you go to sleep, you get up, you get dressed, you do the same pattern every day. But there's something tugging on you. There's something there saying, I want more, I want more, I want more. But then you're like, okay, what is it? What is it? What is it that I want? I don't understand what it is that I want. You know you want more, but you don't know what it is. You don't know how to obtain it. So I am here to assist you on today with that. And then sometimes it's also just this fear or disappointment that is holding us. Fear, disappointment, frustration is building this wall up. And since it's building this wall up, it's blocking us from being able to see those realities that are out there, those possibilities that are out there. But since we're allowing fear to hold us back, we're allowing disappointment to hold us back, and we're allowing our frustrations to cloud our judgment, we can't see the truth that is in front of us. We can't see that reality. So I want to be able to help you all with that on today. Now, this is what I want us to do first. If you have paper and pencil, I want you to write down these reflection questions. And this is just to help you jumpstart your day, jumpstart you and getting you out of your rut. First one is, where in your life do you feel stuck right now? Where in your life do you feel stuck right now? So I want you to stop. I want you to think, okay, I know I'm feeling some type of way. I might not be able to put it in words, but I'm feeling some type of way. And so now I'm trying to figure out, where in my life do I feel stuck right now? Is it your work? Is it relationships? Is it family? Is it social life? Where in your life do you feel stuck? Is it your spiritual life? So where is it? Personal growth, where is it that you feel stuck? After you identify and answer that question, next, what's been repeating that no longer brings you joy? So remember what I said, it's like a repeating pattern. It's a cycle. You're doing the same things over and over again. So I want you to stop and think, What's been repeating that no longer brings you joy? So what is it? Because some people, when they start a career and they start working, they love what they do. They're excited about helping people, whatever it is that their job would require of them to do. But now it's to the point, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is not bringing me happiness. This is just me coming in here doing the same thing every day. Then I leave. I don't feel fulfilled. So, what is the repeating pattern that is no longer bringing you joy? It could be a relationship. It could be that you're having the same conversation over and over again and nobody's hearing you, nobody's listening to you. It could be just you as far as not stepping outside of your comfort zone. So therefore, if you have your same repeating patterns every day, instead of coming straight home from work, you need to go and take a walk. Find a spot that has a nice walking scene, a nice walking area, a trail, and go and do that trail. Maybe that will break you and help you to get out of your rut that you're in. So you need to stop and ask yourself, what's been repeating that no longer brings you joy? And then the next question is, what are you avoiding that might be keeping you there? What are you avoiding that might be keeping you there? So the three questions that I just wanted you to reflect on are, where in your life do you feel stuck right now? That was question number one. Question number two, what's been repeating that no longer brings you joy? And then question number three, what are you avoiding that might be keeping you there? And so when I say, what are you avoiding? I want you to think about it. So for example, if you are at a job that you no longer feel fulfilled at, what are you avoiding that's keeping you there? And we already know, first off, it's the money, because it's like, okay, we leave this job. How are we going to get that income that we're used to? So we already know that for that aspect, money is going to play a big part in it. Then you might also be like, well, I don't feel qualified to go anywhere else. I've been doing this job for so long. What else am I qualified for? So then you can stop and think about that. That might be something that is keeping you there. Then if you're in a relationship wise and you're sitting there thinking about the relationship, what are you avoiding? You don't want to separate from the relationship because then you're going to be alone. You don't want to be alone. You like having people around you. You like feeling protected. You like feeling safe. But then you also have to ask yourself, if you are thinking that this is a thing that does not bring you joy anymore, are you feeling protected in it? Are you feeling safe in it? Are you being heard in this relationship? So those are things you have to ask yourself, because yes, sometimes we hold on to things that we need to let go of. We hold on to things that we need to let go of because we have already set into our, once again, our comfort spot. And we already know that we're comfortable here, even though there are things that we might not like that is going on here, we are comfortable here. And so the thought of us leaving out of that comfort zone is going to bring up some fears, it's going to bring up some anxieties, panic attacks, it's going to do all of that. Because you're like, wait a minute, I'm leaving this. If I leave this, this is what I'm used to. This is my norm. That means I have to find a new norm. Yes, that means you're going to have to find a new norm. And for that, that is frightening for people. That terrifies people of finding that new norm. How can life go on now that I have made these changes? And we all get anxious about the unknown. We all get anxious about the unknown. I don't think there's anybody who's just like, yes, I'm going to go out here and not know what's going to happen next, and I'm just going to be happy with it. No, we all get anxious about the unknown, the uncertainty about what's going to happen next. But these are things that you have to think about. If you are in a rut, you're trying to shake yourself loose, and you already have identified what is causing you to feel stuck. What is it that's not bringing you joy? And you also identified what are you avoiding? I need you to stop and realize, like, oh, I have to move from this. I have to move from this. I have to rid myself of this feeling of being frozen in time and experiencing the same things daily, because there's more out there. There's more out there for you. So you just have to figure out what it is, and then you go from there. The first step to shaking yourself loose is honesty. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. And I want you to stop and think about that. Because what does honesty look like to you? What does honesty look like to you? And this is the thing, because a lot of people, we already say, if I ask a child, what does being honest mean? They're going to say, it's telling the truth. Okay. And yes, we know honesty is telling the truth. But now we also need to identify, whose truth are you telling? Whose truth are you telling? So when you're being honest about trying to grow personally, trying to grow spiritually, trying to heal and trying to move on, you need to identify your truth. You need to be honest with yourself about how you are feeling. So your truth, not somebody else's truth, your truth. So that is the first step to shaking yourself loose. You have to be honest. Healing begins when we tell ourselves the truth. So once you're able to sit and you're able to say, I am not happy with this situation. I no longer feel safe in this situation. I no longer feel creative in this situation. I no longer feel like I am growing. That is a truth. And you need to be able to speak that truth to yourself. And then once you speak that truth, then it's time for you to figure out, okay, so now what do I need to change? What do I need to change? And change is a positive thing. Change does not have to be a negative thing. Changes can be a positive thing as well. So you need to stop and think, what do I need to change? Now, you also need to understand why you feel stuck. You need to understand why you feel stuck. Now, some people always say to those who are feeling stuck, it's because they're lazy and unmotivated, but that's not the truth. There are some people who are unmotivated, so therefore they stay in the situation that they are in for longer than they need to be. But then there are those people who they have a plan written out, they have an idea, they have a dream, they have a vision, they have started working towards it. But then somewhere along the way, they fell into this comfortable spot or this zone of comfortable. And then they're there in that spot, and it's like everything is working out. And they stayed there too long. They stayed in that spot too long. And now all of a sudden it feels as though I am stuck in this spot now because it was feeling good to me. It was feeling real good where I was. But I stayed here too long because I was supposed to move and I was supposed to continue to keep going. But since it was feeling good right there, I stayed there. So now you're trying to figure out how can you break out of that spot and continue to move forward. So once again, honesty, being truthful to yourself, identifying what it is, realizing what it is, and then trying to figure out how you can move forward is the first step. Because that's just like you're being stagnated. Because water, so let me use an example of water. I'm going to use an example of water. When water moves, it shows the clarity of the water. So like if you're ever at a lake or a pond, when the water is moving, it looks clear. But when the water stands still, it's like cloudy. It's not fresh water, it's just standing still water. You start to see the bugs and the mosquitoes flying all around. But once it's moving, it's clear. That is what is happening with us. We're standing still. So now things are starting to get murky, things are starting to get cloudy. We're not sure of what is going on. But when we are moving, we're getting clarity. Sometimes we don't understand why we're moving in that direction, but when we're moving, we're getting clarity. So I want you to think about that. So I want you to think about one area in your life that needs fresh movement. One area in your life that needs fresh movement. Is it your morning routine? Is it something about how you start the day? Because you know how you start the day sets the tone for the rest of your day. So if you already woke up and you're upset, you're grouchy, you're going to carry that. You're going to carry that until something else happens that shifts that change. So maybe it's the morning routine. Maybe you need to have a refresher of your faith, your belief system, your morals, your values. Maybe you need to have a refresher of setting different goals. So I want you to think about that. What in your life needs a fresh movement? And once you identify what in your life needs that fresh movement, write it down. Write it down. And then after you write it down, I want you to think why you said it needs a fresh movement. Why do you need that refresher? Why does it need to be rejuvenated? And then after you identify the why of it needs to be rejuvenated, then I want you to start putting some plans in action to get that fresh start, that fresh movement. So, for example, if your morning starts off with you getting out of the bed in the morning and you go take your shower, you get dressed, then you go make your breakfast. And then after that, you start looking at your emails or you start scrolling on social media. But you haven't given yourself time in the morning yet. You did not give God time in the morning yet. So you didn't have that time of peace. You didn't have that time of stillness, that time of calmness. That might be something that you need to think about. So maybe when you get up in the morning and after you take your shower and you get dressed, maybe you just sit down for like 10 minutes. Sit down for 10 minutes, write out what you're grateful for or state what you're grateful for. Talk to God for 10 minutes. Listen to some calming music, listen to some worship music, whatever it is. Figure out how you're going to change how you set your day instead of allowing it to be rush, 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 or instead of you getting up and then just focusing right in on work. Take that first 10 minutes of the day somewhere just to get your thoughts together, just so you can reflect on what happened yesterday and then how you're going to change it for today for the better. That is something that could start you and get you out of your rut. It could shake you loose because a lot of times, especially depending upon what type of job you have, it's always go, 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 move, 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 do, do, do. You don't have that time to stop and just breathe and just be like, okay, I got this today. Everything's going to work out today. Even though I made some mistakes yesterday, even though some things didn't go my way yesterday, today's going to be a better day. I'm going to be mindful of my speech. I'm going to be mindful of my body actions. I'm going to be mindful of my facial expressions. It could be I'm going to share more today. I'm going to be more open today. I won't be an introvert today. I'm going to try to tackle one of my things on my to-do list today. Whatever it is that is going to help you to set the tone for that day, that's what I want you to work on. So that's if your morning routine needs a refresher. If your faith needs a refresher, same thing. You need to take time out in the morning to speak to God, talk to God. Get yourself together, get your mind right, get your heart right. Say that I'm going to be open to receiving this or that today, and then moving forward with it. If it's your goals, sit down in the morning, write out some things that you want to accomplish on today, and then you can work for that or towards that throughout the rest of the day. So those are some challenges that you can set for yourself in order to help you to shake yourself loose, to get from out of that unstuck position and to shake yourself out of the rut that you were in. Now, in order to do this, you have to change your mindset. Your mindset has to change. Your mindset has to change. And so once again, with the mindset changing, it's just the way you think. Just the way you think. If somebody has been coming to you and they have been, I'm going to say, critiquing you, or they have been trying to share with you and enlighten you on some things or how you act or how you may be perceived to others. And for you, it's like, oh, this is just me. This is just me. This is how I am. But I want you to stop and think of it from somebody else's perspective. If whatever that action is that you did, that somebody tried to address, think about it and then swip. Can't even get it out. Flip the switch. I still can't get it out. Okay, just act, pretend that you're that person. And then think about what it is that you did to that person. And then it happens to you. Is it something that you would like? Is it something that you would welcome? Is it something that you would agree to? If not, then I want you to understand what that person was trying to say. And see, guess what? You just had a mindset shift. You saw it from somebody else's perspective. So now you can understand what it is they're trying to say and you can make that change. So when you have a mindset shift, You're changing the way that you are thinking. And it has to start with the heart and it starts with the mind. So there has to be a changing of the heart. There has to be a changing of the mind when you have that mindset shift. Okay, so now this is the steps that I want you to take. Identify what it is. Identify what it is that is you feel is holding you back. Identify what it is that is in your way. What is blocking you? What is blocking you? I want you to identify it. Identify it. Because maybe it's the simple fact of you don't think you have what it takes. You don't think you have what it takes, so you're not trying to obtain that thing because you're thinking that you're not qualified for it. You're not qualified for it. That's just like somebody who is seeking a new job and they're filling out different job applications. And as they're filling out different job applications, it says qualification and it has a list of qualifications. You have to have this, 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 you have to have this. But do you realize these are the qualifications that they are looking for? But if you really want that job, you should not allow them qualifications to stop you from applying for that job because you might not have obtained something that they want, but you have reached it in experience. So that experience might trump something that they're asking for. So therefore, you should still go and try to complete that application and then see what happens from there. So a lot of times we read over things and then we allow that fear to set in. And when that fear set in, that fear tells us that we're not worthy of something, that we're not capable of something, we cannot obtain something. But we need to block that fear. We need to speak positively over our life and encourage ourselves. And you might say, yes, I do not have this qualification, but I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. And once they sit down and talk to me, they'll understand it. They'll see, oh my goodness, yes, she has a wealth of knowledge. We need this individual, or he has a wealth of knowledge, and we need this individual. So I do not want you to allow fear to stop you from going after what it is that you want. I don't want you to allow change to stop you, the fear of change. Because yes, we have to change if we want to grow. We have to change if we want to grow. You can't say that you want to be better, but yet you're doing the same things over and over again. You're not going to get better if you're doing the same things over and over again. So you need to stop and ask yourself, how can I get better? What are some things that I have to change? And this is the thing. Pick one thing. Pick one thing. Don't try to do all of them at the same time. You're going to get overwhelmed. Pick one thing that you're trying to change about yourself, and then you work towards that one change. It could be, I'm going to start smiling more. So throughout the day, you can just tally up how many times you smiled today. How many times when you said hello, it wasn't a hello. It was a hi, how are you? And then just see how people react to that. And that could be your one thing that you accomplish on that day. So, for example, if you're a person who are trying to say, or you're trying to say to people that you are more inviting because somebody told you that you were standoffish, your boss was like, you are very standoffish. People don't like coming to you because you are very standoffish. So now, what are some things that you can change about that? First thing, I'm going to smile more. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to greet people more. I'm going to talk. I'm going to have eye contact. I'm going to have eye contact. I am going to be an active listener. I am going to listen to you. And then I'm going to respond with something that you said that's going to let you know that I was hearing what you said. And then I will go forward from there. So there are a lot of steps that you can change. So I want you to identify what is it that you want to change about yourself, and then write down some different steps and work towards it. Baby steps, baby steps, take baby steps. Do not get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. If something does not work out, guess what? What do they say? Try again. Switch it up a little bit and just try it again. Also, for shaking yourself loose. This is the one thing that I don't want you to do, because this is something that I find myself doing. And I'm just like, I don't want to be here. Is when you sit and you just feel as though, excuse me, you're trying to shut out the world. You try to shut out the world. You like, if I can just stop myself from thinking all of this, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to shut out the world. Do not try to shut the world out. Because when you are in a rut, when you are feeling stuck and you start to shut out the world, and then you just try to be by yourself, I'm going to let you know this. Depression starts to sneak in. And you do not want to allow depression to start to sneak in, because you're thinking, no, I just want to be left alone. But the problem with being left alone is that when you say, I just want to be left alone, and then you shut yourself out from the world, and you're in your house, you're in your room, you're sitting there, you're by yourself, and you start thinking, that's when the enemy gets in. That's when that stronghold gets in. And you saying, I just want to be left alone. But then all of a sudden the thoughts start creeping in. Nobody loves me. I'm unlovable. Things are never going to change for me. Things are never going to get better for me. And then you go into this woe is me stage. You go into this woe is me stage and you can't get yourself out of it. So what I want you to do is not to shut yourself off from the world when you feel as though you're in a rut and you're trying to figure out how to shake yourself loose. This is when I want you to go and find your support system. Find those people who you can talk to, those accountability partners, those who already know your situation. Because there should be at least, I'm going to say there should be at least two people that you are sharing your situation with. So, for example, if you have set goals for yourself and you're working towards them, there should be at least two people who are your accountability partners or your support system. So they know exactly what it is that you are trying to do. Now, if they are your accountability partners or they're your support system, guess what? That means you trust them. That means you trust them. That means you know that they're going to hold you to a higher level. So when you have your accountability partners and you trust them, they are holding you to a higher level. So therefore, when you get to that space, when you just don't know what's going on, reach out to those accountability partners, your support system. If you don't have them, I want you to find them. How do I find accountability partners? Stop this. Write a list, because you have your friends, you have your associates. Write down a list of at least 5 people who you feel as though you feel comfortable talking to about whatever the situation is. You have to be able to feel comfortable talking to them. That's one. You have to trust them. That's two. And when I say trust them, trust that they have your best interest in mind. Trust that whatever you are sharing with them in confidence, they will keep it. That is what I mean when I say trust. Trust that if you are getting to a breaking point, and if they feel as though that you are want to cause harm to yourself or someone else, they're going to reach out to somebody else to save you and pull you out of it. That's trust. So when you're looking for your accountability partner, these are the people that you need to be able to write down and say, these are the people I want. I feel comfortable talking to them. I trust them. They're going to hold my confidence. If they see me sinking, they're going to pull me out of it. They're going to rush to save me, to help me, to encourage me, motivate me, uplift me. And then another thing about the accountability partner is that they have to have goals and aspirations for themselves that they are working towards. And why do I say that? Because that means they understand what it is that you are trying to do. Because they're trying to grow themselves. They're trying to better themselves. So they understand the push and the pull and the tug that goes with that. So when you come to them and you state something, they're not going to just brush it off. They're going to be there to hold you accountable and say, okay, you stuck to these goals. This is what you said was going to happen. And this is what you want. So you need to continue to work towards, and no, we're not going to give up because times are rough. Times got hard. They're going to stop and say, what do you need from me? How can I help you? So that is what you need for an accountability partner or a support system. So if you don't have those individuals, I want you to find those individuals. They will make a world of difference. It will make a world of difference in whatever situation you are going through. And then if you need different accountability partners, they don't have to be the same. So that means if you need a support system for your personal life, then you need a support system for however for financial growth. You need a support system for dealing with your work environment, the people in your work environment. They can be different people. They do not have to be the same people. So therefore, when you're talking to them, it's going to be about just that one topic. It'll be about that one topic, and then they can push you in that one topic. And once again, whatever the topic is, that person has to be strong in that topic. That person has to be knowledgeable in that topic. So it's almost like they're your mentor because a mentor is able to pour into a person. You don't need somebody who is your accountability partner and all they're doing is taking from you. That means they're not holding you accountable for anything. You need somebody who is going to be able to pour into you. So I want you to think about that as well. If you do not have that person who can pour into you, you need to find a person who can pour into you, who's able to sit and listen to what it is that you have to say, and then they can provide positive feedback. That is what you need to find. A support system is a very strong must, and it needs to be at the top of your to-do list if you do not have one, because that is going to be one of the people who is going to help you to shake yourself loose and get out of the rut that you are in. So you need to be able to have that support system. Next, I want you to create boundaries. Create boundaries for yourself. Create boundaries for yourself. And when I say create boundaries for yourself, I want you to be able to set up things that you are willing to give up or go, just be willing to give up. And then there are things that you're not going to cross the line. Like this right here has to stay like this. So for example, if you're going out on a date, you have a list of things that you are willing to do, a list of things that you are not willing to do on a date. So I want you to set that up, a list for your life, things that you are willing to do that are going to improve your life, a list of things that you are not willing to do. And when I say not willing to do, most of the time that not willing to do means stuff that's going to cause harm to you. It's going to cause physical harm. It's going to cause mental harm. It's going to cause some kind of harm to you. That is setting the boundary. So no, I'm not crossing this line. Like, no, never, no. Like I've been there, done that. I'm not going back because you know how long it took me to get out of that situation. You know how long it took me to have myself heal from that traumatizing event. So when you're setting boundaries, think about those things that you're putting your foot down. No, not going to happen. And write it out. If you have to put it out and put it on the wall so you can see, these are the things that I am not going to negate on. I'm going to stick to these things. Write it down because you need to be able to identify what your morals and beliefs are, your values that you have for yourself in order for you to understand why you feel stuck, how you're going to get out of it. Because different opportunities can come your way to help you to get out of your rut. But you have to look to see if those opportunities line up with your faith. Do those opportunities line up with your faith? Do they line up with your values? Do they line up with your morals and beliefs? And I'm going to give you an example, which may twist this a little bit, but I'm going to give you an example. So for example, if you're a Christian believer in Christ and you're walking in the faith, you're believing and you're maturing, you're growing. And then there are other people out there who have their other faiths. Like you have I can't even think of the name of it right now. The psychics. And so you're stuck in your rut. And then your friend was like, hey, I'm going to my psychic today. I'm going to see the psychic today. You come with me to see the psychic and the psychic can help you. Now, question, are you going to cross that line? Are you going to cross that line? Are you going to continue to believe in your faith and seek out your spiritual guidance from the word of God? Or are you going to cross that line and are you going to go into dabbling into witchcraft? That is something I want you to think about. Because a lot of times when you're in your rut, you're trying to shake yourself loose. There are going to be different avenues that are going to come at you to assist you in getting you out of your rut, but you have to be able to identify what it is that you feel comfortable doing, what it is that is based on your values and your belief systems that are going to help you to get out of your rut. And then you have to move on with that. So that was just something else that I wanted to share. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say, I'm going to go back to being honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself in everything that you do. In every walk of your life, you have to be honest with yourself. So what does that mean? Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I am a confident woman, but yet sometimes I can be insecure about the different gifts that I have and am I using them in the appropriate way? I can be insecure about, am I reaching the right people? I can be insecure about, maybe people are looking at me and they're thinking that I'm trying to be something that I'm not. That's being truthful. Because once again, I'm Jacqueline. I am confident. I am to the point right now where I say I don't care what people think about me, but yet there's still that insecurity, like, slightly, yes, you did. Yes, you did. But then you have to understand, like, okay, so now that you know that, what are you going to do about that? So I want you to be truthful with yourself. Who are you? Who are you? If you're able to say who you are, if you're able to identify your strengths. So once again, I am Jacqueline. Strengths. I am an excellent educator. I am an excellent teacher. I am an excellent listener. I am an excellent motivator. I am good at encouraging people. I am good at helping people to move from one level to another in their life. I am good at working with parents as far as helping their child excel in school. Those are some strengths. I am good at implementing plans and getting the end result. I am excellent at having faith and persevering and pushing, even when I can't see the end. Might waver a little bit and get frustrated, but I am excellent at that. Those are my strengths. Weaknesses. Jacqueline, what are your weaknesses? Weaknesses. I don't give myself enough grace. I am very hard on myself. Weakness. I push myself too much. Weakness. I don't let people in to assist or help when the help is truly needed. Weakness. See, I'm being truthful with myself right now. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, okay, what are some more weaknesses? Weaknesses, I question myself a lot. Weaknesses, I allow my mind to be open to negativity. I allow negative thoughts to enter and then I entertain negative thoughts. Weakness. Okay, so now y'all see me thinking. I'm trying to think of some more things. So this is what I want you to do. So you have to be honest and truthful with yourself. State who you are. State your strengths. State your weaknesses. And then from there, remember, we're still trying to get out of the rut. We're trying to shake ourselves loose. Now, then from there, after you did all of that, now identify your rut. What is your rut? My rut is I have great expectations and I can't see the end result of the great expectations that I have for myself. So now I am beginning to be disappointed and I am allowing the frustration to set in because I can't see the end result. I'm trusting in the process, but I'm getting frustrated as well because I can't see the end result. I'm working towards the process. I'm working towards the end result that I want, but it's not moving in the time and manner in which I desire it to move. So now I am getting frustrated. I am getting upset. I'm trying not to show it, but I do believe the people who are around me on a regular basis are beginning to see that something is wrong with me. And they might just be like, okay, she's going through it, but this is my rut. This is my truth. That is the rut that I am in. So now that I have identified my rut, see, I'm doing all of this live so that you can see. I identified who I am. I identified my strengths. I identified my weaknesses. Yes, I could have went more into detail with that, but I choose not to. Now I just identified what my rut is. Excuse me, y'all. I identify what my rut is that I have to shake myself out of. I have to shake myself out of this rut. Now, how am I going to shake myself out of this rut? First, my mindset has to change. How is my mindset going to change? I have to realize, one, God's timing is not my timing. That's what I have to realize. Because I'm put time restraints on things that I do because I have plans and I have goals and desires and things that I want to accomplish at a certain set time. But sometimes I have to realize that I can't go before God. I can't go before God, and God's timing is not my timing. And it's frustrating because I put in the work. I feel as though I put in this work. I've done all that I could do, even though, yes, there's a little bit more that I could be doing, but I'm working it out. And I feel as though I have been in this thing for too long. Like it has been months upon months upon months upon months. And I'm like, so when is the end result going to get here? Even though when you're looking for that end result, guess what? It's not really the end result. It's the beginning. Because now you accomplish that one task, but then you're going to start a whole new task after that. So I need you to also realize that you're looking for the end result, and it's not even the end result. It's just like a segment. Segment one, segment two, segment three, segment four. So now we're just going to be at a new segment. But my whole thing is I want this portion right here to be resolved. But see, when I do that, I am trying to rush God. And in the process of me trying to rush God, I'm either going to miss an opportunity because I'm trying to rush and do it my way, or I'm not going to be ready when the opportunity comes because I'm not still putting in the work that I'm supposed to be putting in because I got frustrated, I got upset, and I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to stop right here. So what do I need to do? That's the question. What do I need to do? So what is it that I need to do? I am in this rut. I I put the time restraint on myself. Yes, there are other components that rely on what it is that I'm working towards. And once I get that accomplishment for what I'm working towards, other components will be finalized. And other components will get what it is that they need. But my whole thing is the time constraint is driving me crazy. The weight is driving me crazy. And during this wait, I am working. I am putting the plans in place. I am keeping the faith, and I have to keep reminding myself that all I have to have is faith the size of a mustard seed. And I'm like, I got that and more, but it's still frustrating. And this is the reality of it. We go through things and it's frustrating. And the reality of it is, it's like you cannot share these feelings with other people because they're going to think you're crazy. But the reality of it is you can, because everybody's going through these things. Some people just choose not to share. I am sharing with you. I am being transparent 100% right now with you all that this is what's going on. So now I just realized while working this out with you all that I need to chill. Oh my goodness. I just need to chill out. I am doing everything that I need to do. And I just need to chill and just trust God in his process and that he is working it out for me. He's turning it around in my favor, that it is all going to work out. It might not be when I wanted to work out, because for me, honestly, I wanted to work out a couple months ago. I wanted to work out a couple months ago. So it's not going to be when I wanted to work out, but when it works out, it's going to be for my good. So I had to realize that and understand that. And in my head, I'm like, I already knew that. Yes, I already knew that, but I was still feeling some type of way. And I was allowing those feelings to dictate my actions. So now I know that I cannot allow those feelings to dictate my actions, and that I have to trust the process, trust God, trust and believe that what I am doing is what was supposed to be done. I'm going to continue to put the plan in motion. I'm going to continue to work behind the scenes until everything manifests itself. And that is what I hope you all are doing to help you get out of your rut. I hope today you gain some information, some insight, some knowledge that if you are in a rut, you feel stuck, you receive some kind of strategy, game plan that is going to help you to get out of your rut. This is just a season that you were in. Divinity captured. I see you. Yes, absolutely. I am so glad that this was beneficial to you, that this helped me, because I am sitting here just pouring it all out today. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. But I needed it for myself as well. So I am glad that you were able to get something out of this. It is just a season that we are in. We're going to get through this season together. We're not going to be stuck for long. God is turning it around for us. It will soon manifest itself. We just have to keep working on ourselves. We have to keep growing in our personal life, growing in our spiritual life. We have to keep speaking truth over what it is that we desire, keep speaking life into ourselves, and then just stay the course. Stay the course. Don't give up. Stay the course. Now, before I leave you all on today, I have 3 reflection questions that I want to ask. Divinity Capture said, girl, I was doing my Saturday morning cleaning, just tuning in. So it helped me as well. I am so glad. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. All right, the 3 reflection questions that I'm going to leave you with. What's one thing you discovered about yourself today? Answer that question. What is one thing you discovered about yourself today? Next one. What's one step you're committed to taking this week that's going to help you to get out of your rut? And then 3, who can you share your journey with for accountability? Who can you share your journey with for accountability? Remember, I said you need to have those accountability partners. So I want you to think about those questions and I want you to act on them. What is one thing you discovered about yourself today? Me, I need to just chill and let God work. Chill and let God work. Two, what's one step you're committed to taking this week? I'm going to chill. That's my step. I'm going to chill. I'm going to keep moving forward, but I'm going to chill. I'm not going to let that weight, that worrying, that frustration weigh me down. That is what I'm not going to do this week. I am releasing it now. It is not going to be there. I am moving forward. And then who can I share my journey with? I have my accountability partners already set up. So now, key reminder, I am breaking free from what holds me back. I am walking into new possibilities with courage and faith. That is what I want you all to say to yourself today, tomorrow, whatever. I am breaking free of what holds me back. I am walking into new possibilities with courage and faith. Remember these words: movement creates momentum, and momentum creates change. And that is what we are all working to. We are all working to create change. So until next time, keep growing, keep moving, keep believing that your breakthrough is closer than you think. I want to thank my WMEG listeners for tuning in today. I want to thank social media. I want to thank Facebook, Instagram, YouTube listeners for tuning in today. I pray that you all receive something that is going to be able to encourage you, that is going to motivate you, that is going to bring you through this week as an overcomer. And until next time, I just want you to be truthful with yourself. That is going to be our task for this week. Be truthful with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Once again, thank you all for tuning in today. And I want you all to have a great week. I should be here next week. So tune in next week. Invite a friend to tune in next week. If you have any questions, if you want to have a session with me, you can always reach out to me at www.eoechangeagent.com. You can look on there and see what kind of sessions we have and services I have. And then feel free to reach out to me for that. Thank you again.